superhero.
In-depthly observed indie character studies as Mama's Man 2008 and Terry 2011. Filmmaker Azazel Jacobs told tender, brutally funny stories about outcasts trying to figure themselves out. He now turns his eye to a married couple, Deborah Winger and Tracy Letts, having affairs on the side. When they decide to end their marriage, however, they find themselves unexpectedly falling back in love. This could genuinely be Jacob's breakthrough moment. T.G. Goldie Hawn and Amy Schumer are a mother and daughter combo who are kidnapped while on vacation in Ecuador. Family dysfunction and action comedy escapism look to be equal selling points. And we are curious to see where Schumer's screen career goes post-Trainwreck. But don't overlook the fact that this is Hawn's biggest starring vehicle since the 1999 remake of The Out-of-Towners. She is one of the all-time great comedians. Her big screen return automatically puts this on the must-see list. More facehuggers and xenomorphs, a reprise of that famous chest-bursting scene, only through a dude's spinal column, an even creepier Michael Fassbender android. The usual chases down dripping dark corridors. The latest Alien movie looks like both a return to the original's haunted house in space thrill ride and a steroidal update of the franchise as a whole. Ridley Scott has said this is the second part of a proposed prequel quadrilogy after Prometheus. While star Katherine Waterston, Inherent Vice, has mentioned the story involves a colony of couples sent to repopulate a world filled with you-know-what. If this is half as terrifying as the movie's poster, we may need adult diapers. The buzz you've heard about this British import is indeed true. Theater director William Oldroyd's adaptation of a Russian novella about a sold young bride, played by the incredible Florence Pugh, who begins to take control of her destiny and her desires via a hot stable hand, is quite possibly the best historical potboiler you'll see this year. By the time this rigorous tale of adultery, feminism, vengeance, violence and in-house power jockeying is over, you'll feel like you've been hit by a truck. It's masterpiece theater with blood-stained fangs. The DC Comics movies of the past few years have been decidedly drearier than their Marvel counterparts. But this summer's retro take on Wonder Woman promises to bring some brightness back into an oppressively dark superhero universe. With charismatic actress Gal Gadot front and center as the Amazonian Princess Diana, and confident blockbuster veteran Chris Pine playing World War I fighter pilot Steve Trevor. This new movie looks to recapture some of the throwback kicks of the first Captain America film, but with the burnished look and outsized heroism of DC's recent Justice League run-ups. Had you asked us a year ago whether we were so psyched for the gajillionth new iteration of a big-screen Spider-Man, you'd have been met by the world's loudest yawn. And then we saw what Tom Holland could do with the friendly neighborhood web-slinger, more specifically, how the young British actor could nail the kid behind the mask so convincingly, in Captain America, Civil War, and Everything Changed. He's the reason we're curious to see how this third reboot of the iconic superhero, in which he takes on Michael Keaton's Techo Kirk Vulture, plays out. And whether director John Watts' Cop Car can capture the Spidey comics' eternal appeal. We have our web-covered fingers crossed. It's just not summertime without an action tentpole featuring Tom Cruise urgently running somewhere. The ageless hero takes the lead for this installment in Universal's emerging monster flick universe, crossing paths with a malevolent ancient Egyptian princess, Sophia Boutella, who doesn't appreciate being disturbed from her eternal slumber. And as a signal of spookier things to come, Russell Crowe co-stars as one highly temperamental physician who goes by the name of Dr. Jekyll. Here's hoping it's a walloping good time, because the studio is already prepping a whole lot more where this came from. The rebooted Planet of the Apes franchise has been one of the stronger pro-arguments for recycled properties, and after two strong entries, director Matt Reeves will attempt to stick the landing with a climactic post-apocalyptic showdown of man versus chimp. Woody Harrelson joins the cast as a cue-ball-headed despot intent on wiping out the simian survivors once and for all, pushing the otherwise peaceable primates to a battle that will decide the fate of Earth. Fur will most assuredly fly. It was 10 days of intense fighting that claimed the lives of thousands of troops, saved hundreds of thousands of others, and eventually helped turn the tide of World War II, and now Christopher Nolan has made a movie out of it. The Interstellar director tackles the Battle of Dunkirk with his customary thoroughness, chilled to Kubrickian Sub-Zero stylistics and an extraordinary sense of the visceral, violent nature of 20th-century warfare. Kenneth Branagh, Cillian Murphy, Tom Hardy, Mark Rylance and One Direction's Harry Styles are among the fighting men trapped by Axis forces. The trailer hints at a bit of ecstasy and whole lotta agony. French action maestro Luc Besson turns the Gallic comic series Valerian into a big-budget brouhaha and, in the process, delivers what may be his most expensive, ambitious and batshit blockbuster since 1997's The Fifth Element. Dane DeHaan and Cara Delevingne are spatio-temporal agents who go hopping from era to era, encountering memorable friends and foes played by the likes of John Goodman, Ethan Hawke, and a mega blonde meets cabaret chic Rihanna. Who cares if the material risks being too unfamiliar and too European to connect with summer movie audiences? For Besson, freakier is always better. On the eve of the Berlin Wall's collapse, in MI6 spy Charlize Theron and the city's intelligence station chief, James McAvoy, must figure out who's killing undercover agents and why. Ooh, some good old-school Cold War espionage. The two leads have a proven track record with this kind of stuff. We are curious to see how rookie director David Leitch, aka John Wick's co-director, and Brad Pitt's old stuntman, handles the stylistic thrills, spills and chills, given that he's tasked with the responsibility of making Deadpool 2 next year. Stephen King's epic, multi-book tale of good, evil, gunfighters, evil sorcerers, father figures and mysterious quests has been one of those stop-start dream projects that Hollywood has been trying to make for years. The fact that there will finally be a movie version of this fantasy western what's-it saga feels slightly unreal. Rumors have circulated about major characters not making the page-to-screen transition, that the film combines several volumes into one story, and that it's actually a sequel of sorts to the books have been flying fast and furious for the last 6 months. What we do know is that King himself was heavily involved as a consultant, and that casting Idris Elba as the hero Roland Desgain is a stroke of genius. Plus Matthew McConaughey co-stars as the not alright man in black. Yeah!